Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center along with Cheer Athletics, the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym. We are the only show in the metro area that focuses on the growth and development of said metro area. And very excited today because we're actually live on location at Nebraska Crossing, Interstate 80, Highway 31 in Gretna in celebration of the brand new Lego store. Lego, the first Lego store in the state of Nebraska. And before we go any further, it's time to bring on my co-host, a legendary real estate deal-making machine and all-around intriguing fellow, Trenton Magid.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This place is jumping.
I know, it's exciting because Lego is one of those brands that is so popular. It just kind of transcends the culture, if you will. And already, the store opens at 9 o'clock. You got a bunch of people that are queuing in line because they want to be the first ones opens at 10 o'clock. And they want to be the first ones when the door opens. And it's pretty cool to see it.
And there's plenty of room, and I think you're going to get in. So although there's a big line, and there's everyone from strollers to canes, Legos attracts all kinds.
Well, let's bring on our friend Rod Yates, who is the developer and owner of Nebraska Crossing, and Johanna Boston with Nebraska Crossing and Just Data. Rod and Johanna, good morning.
Yeah, welcome, Jeff and Trenton. Great to have you back out again.
Well, congratulations on the Lego opening. Yesterday was the official opening day, but you would think it's today because people are still buzzing and excited to get in before the doors open.
Yeah, I think Jeff, I think we easily had 2,000 people in line yesterday, and I think they started around midnight on Thursday to be the first in the store. So you were in line a good 10 hours yesterday, wait for that store to open. And what we love about Lego is, you can be 85 to 5 years old and you're a Lego customer. Rarely do you have a brand that attracts that demographic. So we're pretty happy to have Lego here, and I think they're going to do really, really well for us.
Johanna, how unique is this?
Oh, it's so unique. This is one of the brands that people have been asking for since we opened. Toy stores don't exist anymore, and it's not just toys for kids, right? It's for adults. They have a huge following, like Rod said. The demographic is all over the map, whether you're a grandparent or you're a little kid growing up. They really appeal to so many people with all the collaborations that they do with Star Wars, etc. They keep people engaged, and they're really community-minded.
Well, we're going to talk more about Lego and some of the other happenings out here in Nebraska Crossing. But first, it's time for us to go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com if you want to find them online. 114th and Davenport if you want to find them in person. But Eagle Mortgage is the Cadillac and the standard, if you will, in the mortgage brokerage industry. And when I say mortgage brokerage, that's important because they're not a bank. They're not beholden to a bank. And so if you work with them, they will shop the market and find the best bank, find the best lending solution for you and your situation. It's September, and some people think, I can't buy a house in the fall. Wrong. It's actually a good time to buy a house. And before you get started, talk to the folks at Eagle Mortgage. Get your pre-approval letter, eaglemortgagecompany.com. Well, a couple of news items. First of all, we got some big news for those of you who travel even just a little bit. You're going to be curious about this. The Omaha Airport Authority approved a slate of concessionaire and retailer leases as part of Eppley Airfield's $1 billion terminal remodeling and expansion project. And there are going to be some local favorites: Block 16, Fernando's, Runza, Scooters, Pitch Pizzeria, plus many others. Some of the national brands that will be in there will be Starbucks, Panda Express. Guy Fieri is going to have a chicken concept, and of course the normal airport retailers like Hudson News and all that sort of thing. Trenton, the significant thing about this is the whole experience post-security is going to get a lot better. Right now, the restaurant selection, once you get through security at Eppley, is, let's be honest, it sucks. It's absolutely terrible. And the reason for that was that terminal was designed long before 9/11, when all the security changed, and it's divided into two satellite terminals currently, although that'll change. So they can't really get much else in there. This will be a welcome change.
So there'll be one security checkpoint.
Correct.
For all planes. We're going to add a couple gates, And I think we're going to pick up a lot of direct connections, direct flights.
Yeah, it's looking like there should be at minimum of a handful more nonstop destinations, but probably a lot more than that.
But you also there's also a new concept to Omaha, which is Plum Market.
Yeah, in fact, it was kind of interesting because when this news broke, I happened to be traveling home, and I was going through a connecting airport, and shortly after I'd read the press release, I saw a Plum Market, so I went and took a few pictures of it. It was in Detroit, and big. It's kind of it's a cool concept because it's like an upscale convenience store, but then they'll put a bar in it and a restaurant component and a deli and coffee shop component. So I think that'll be a nice addition there as well. In other news, Creighton University broke ground on a new sophomore residence hall on the southeast corner of 21st and Cummings Street, across the street from the existing Dental College building. This residence hall will be 5 stories, 150,000 square feet. It'll house 400 students. Now, Creighton has been making significant changes to its North Downtown campus in recent years. I mean, earlier this year, they demolished a 10-story residence hall building from the 1960s that was no longer needed. But this new, and they built a new Jesuit residence for, the administrators and the priests that are part of the Jesuit order that work and run Creighton. And then this new sophomore residence hall that I referred to is expected to be complete in 2026. Right to the east of it, very, very impressive baseball and softball facilities as well.
And Creighton still has more land to develop. I mean, there's some people that have donated a lot of land around there, and they're definitely on a mission, and they've done a great job with that area.
Well, and finally, developers are moving forward with an apartment project on the southeast corner of 38th and Dodge. We told you about this a couple of years ago. It requires the demolition of 3 or 4 single-family houses. Some people weren't too thrilled about it because they were very, very cool brick houses right on Dodge. And then we were wondering, is that project still on? Because we hadn't seen any movement. Well, it looks like it is. The developer's moving forward. They had to kind of work through some things with the city, but it'll be 5 stories on top of 2 stories of parking, 132 residential units, 122 parking spaces. This is more of just all of the heavy growth and development of the urban core, and it'll essentially be on the north edge of the Blackstone district.
And this is the iconic vet office that was their veterinarian.
No,
office.
you're thinking that's at 43rd and Dodge.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. This is an entirely different one, but that one you mentioned is another big urban core project, or at least on the western edge of the urban core. And that is your news for today, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, EagleMortgageCompany.com. We are live on location in Nebraska Crossing, celebrating grand opening weekend of Lego. The iconic store has finally come to Nebraska, and they've come in a big way. Store's beautiful. We're going to talk more about that and some other happenings here at the mall when we come back from this first break. You're listening to Jeff and Trenton on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals sitting next to Trenton Magid. We are live on location at Nebraska Crossing in Gretna, celebrating the open of the brand new Lego store. Lego opened yesterday, and today is day 2, but you wouldn't know it. You would think it was day 1 because there is some excitement here. A lot of people queued up wanting to be the first ones inside the doors when they open at 10 o'clock, so not that long from now. We have with us Rod Yates, owner of Nebraska Crossing, along with Johanna Boston. Johanna, what do we call you here other than Jane of all trades and doer of everything?
I don't know. That's good.
Instigator.
Yeah, that I've been called that.
Well, so you guys, let's talk a little bit of behind the scenes. What does it take to get these big international retailers? You've got a lot of them out here, Rod, but give us lift the curtain a little bit, and tell us what you can about how the negotiations with tenants like Lego happen.
Well, it was 3 years, just so you know that. So that's a long lead time to get a deal done. And I think the advantage we have, Jeff and Trenton, in securing a deal like Lego is we use data as a leasing tool. And so with everything we've learned over the 12-year history of Nebraska Crossing, we've collected a massive amount of data on the trade area. And so what we were able to show Lego is that we had 90,000 customers in our ecosystem that had either shopped a Lego store or shopped Lego.com. And so that usually doesn't happen from a landlord perspective. So we really use our data as a leasing tool. And I tell you what, that's how we secured Lego. And it'll be the only Lego in the state. And I think that's a massive win for us. And we're going to draw from all over.
How big's the store?
3,500 square feet.
Is it big enough?
Probably
I
not.
doubt it.
What I like about something like a Lego store, whether it's gift for kids or adults or whatever you have, there's something for everyone. Where it's not like you have to spend $500 when you go into a store like that, but you can. There's price points for everybody.
Yeah.
Price points for everyone, and again, the appeal is from young kids to adults, and you'd be surprised how many different people are out here that may have never been here before. So it brings a great demographic into Nebraska.
I think Johanna, as well as to Trenton and Jeff's point, I mean that store pro forma $10 million. That's a big number out of a 3,500 square foot store. What's the average transaction, Johanna? $250 or so?
Yeah, and yesterday it was, I think, a lot higher than that.
Yeah.
There were a lot of big yellow bags.
What's
walking
unique
around.
about this store that people may not know is there? Can you order like unique models or something like that?
They have what they have in their retail stores. I'm sure that if they don't have it in stock, it can be shipped to you or to the store. But it's all about experience. So they're going to have everything in this store that they would have in any, one of their retail locations in 140 countries and 800 retail locations that they do have.
And if you come out today, there's a tent that is on the other side of the store, and they're making models and things like that. So there's a lot of interactive areas today.
Yeah, we have a group out. It's called Low Lug, and they're from Lincoln and Omaha, and they are brickheads from our state, and it's awesome. They have these great models that you can come out and see, and then we also have this huge life-size, actually bigger than life-size mural that is all based on Nebraska. It was designed by the Lego Creative Group, and it's a mystery mural. We know what it looks like, but it has all these things from across the state that are important in Nebraska, and everybody can get a brick and lay a brick in the actual mural. And then we're going to display this mural. It's 15 feet high by maybe 30 feet long. It's going to be in our center, so it's pretty cool.
Okay, so very cool stuff. Grand opening, Lego here in Nebraska Crossing. Rod Yates, what are some other new tenants or retailers or restaurants we might be seeing here in the mall soon?
Yeah, great question, Jeff. As you know, Jeff and Trenton, the key to any great mall is you're constantly re-merchandising. And we every year want to always be bringing in a handful of new brands that are unique to the market. I think that's always going to be our strength, is we're going to look for the market first, market only brands, i.e. like Lego. The next brand you're going to see open is Paradise Bakery. We partnered up with John to come in and really take over our food and beverage at Nebraska Crossing and be a big part of all the anchor new opportunities, our anchors we're bringing into the development. But food and beverage is going to be a big part of our deal here, and we're really happy to have Paradise Bakery with a drive-through coming in. I think John will have that open next month. So that'll be a big new win for us. I know Pandora Jewelry is going to come in and build in our development. They should be open in the springtime. And then the next brand after that will be Ariat. If you guys haven't seen that brand, that's phenomenal. They'll come to Nebraska and build one store. The closest store, I think, is Dallas, Johanna, maybe. But that'll be a great 8,000 square foot store that we'll bring into the development and be very unique to the market. So Offline by Aerie is coming in. They're starting construction here fairly soon. That'll be another new to market brand. And then the folks down in Kearney, the Buckle guys, have been pursuing us pretty hard to get a store in here. So we're trying to find them a home in the development. Dennis Nelson's a great guy. We'd love to have him in the development. So we're working with them to be part of that.
And since we were on with you guys last, we opened the Crocs store, and we just opened Hey Dude, and then Jamba Juice came in as well. So I just wanted to kind of give them a shout out.
You've got to get a Croc furniture store. Have you seen that?
I have not, but do you have a Croc couch?
No, but they make individual chairs and
got
couches.
a Croc or something.
A lot of outdoor patio furniture. It's pretty wild.
That's cool.
If you're into Croc.
Listen, I mean, if you walk around anywhere, whether you're in an airport or out at our mall, you look down, people are wearing Crocs. Adults, kids, you name it.
Hand in hand with Lego, right?
They do.
All I know is that Jamba Juice store is like a beacon, because Trenton arrived here on property today.
He went
and
right there.
He made a beeline. Like they always say, the quickest way between 2 points is a straight line.
Yeah.
Dang, Trenton.
Yeah, it's
How is it?
I got the peanut butter mood, and whenever I see in an airport or whatever, now I can do it here, and get my Jamba on.
So, Rod, you mentioned food and beverage, and you mentioned the name John. We have with us John Skrakus. And John, why don't you talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing here out at Nebraska Crossing when it comes to food and beverage?
Yeah, sure, Jeff. Great to be on with you guys. Excited to be out here. As we all know, food and beverage is huge in a development like this. People come to shop, obviously, but people need to eat. And we want to give them plenty of options to eat. And there are plenty of options to eat here now, but I think we can elevate what we're doing out here. Yep. And that's why I came on board to work with Rod and Johanna and Jen. It's exciting. Paradise Bakery is a brand that's been around 17 years, and it's popular. We only have one location, and we're going to move it from Village Point to Nebraska Crossing. And it'll give people an option out here, a healthy option. And we have great product, and I think it'll do well out here.
So where in the mall will Paradise Bakery be opening?
It's going to be on the west end of the mall, across from Ulta.
Okay.
It'll have a drive-through. It'll be Paradise Bakery 2.0. You know, we're gonna just elevate the product. Same great product, but we're gonna add some bakery items, great drinks, coffee. Obviously, with the drive-through, you know, that gives us another added benefit to having a drive-through out here.
And when do we think that's going to open?
Hopefully next month or early November.
Okay, early November. Now, John, Rod, Johanna, something in my life has suddenly changed because sitting in front of me is a very colorful looking bowl of delicious treats from Jamba. What is this?
That's an acai bowl. So,
my gosh, it looks great.
Where have you been living that you haven't seen one of these before?
I've had an acai.
An acai is described as what type of fruit?
So it's an acai bowl.
It's a berry.
So it's a berry.
Okay, and but it's like
it's a superfood.
Yeah, it's a superfood.
There's a hell of a lot more in here than just acai,
though. It's blended. It has some granola in it. You have huge blueberries, strawberries, some coconut cream on top, and then it looks like almond butter all over it. So it's pretty tasty looking. I'm not going to try and eat and get seeds in my teeth while we're on the radio this morning.
Pretty impressive.
They're great. They're great.
So, Rod, let's talk a little bit about, because you've been in the news a great deal the last year or two talking about the whole concept of the Good Life District. And there's been action in the Nebraska legislature. When we hear about the Good Life District, we're hearing big numbers of acres, big numbers of dollars, and you have mentioned some very impressive brands. So people are quite curious about the Good Life District. We can talk about that a little bit. Where are we with it? I guess maybe first give us kind of a 30,000-foot overview of what you envision with this Good Life District. Then we'll get into how it's coming along.
Yeah, we let's just talk about real quick why the Good Life District was created. And really what Senator Linehan and Governor Pillen were looking for with the Good Life bill was basically to do three things. Bring a lot of new tourism into Nebraska, bring a lot of new industry into Nebraska, and bring a lot of new brands in Nebraska. New to market retail is an example, or new to market industry. And so that was really the purpose of it. So what we've done is we really hit the road hard looking at what kind of industries we could bring here. Who do we want to anchor this development? Obviously, we got 85 great global and national brands in the mall, but what industry can we build around this? And we chose to go the direction of youth sports. If you guys have followed youth sports, it's a $30 billion industry today. It's on its way to being a $60 billion industry in the next 6 years. And so what we've seen as the opportunity is that we can create in Nebraska the Disneyland version of youth sports. And so to do that, we went around and started talking to a whole bunch of experts in youth sports, a whole bunch of industry in youth sports. Actually, the largest soccer team in the world, that's the Dallas Cowboys of soccer, is building 3 sports academies in the United States, East Coast, West Coast, and Midwest. We're gonna build them here. So we're gonna have a big soccer academy be part of this, and then we're complementing that with other youth sports. But if you're in Nebraska And you're really looking to draw a lot of tourism. We don't have oceans. We don't have mountains.
Let's take a break, Jeff.
We think youth sports is the perfect opportunity for us to capitalize. So how's it all turned out over the last year? We're up to 4,500 acres of demand. We actually have users for 4,500 acres, Jeff, to make this an iconic destination development that hits on all Senator Linehan and Governor Pillen's goals for this. I think we're going to be over 20 million visitors a year, probably $2.5 billion in retail sales. People coming from all across the world. Once we announce all the brands that are going to be part of the youth sports, it's going to be amazing what's going on here.
All right. Well, that is a good segue into a more detailed conversation about where we're going with the Good Life District. But we do have to break for the middle of the show news. You're listening to Jeff and Trenton live on location at Nebraska Crossing, celebrating Lego's grand opening weekend. We're brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center along with Cheer Athletics, and we'll be back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid. We are part of Grow Omaha, which is the area's only economic development, commercial real estate, business expansion talk show. And we are brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. It's time for your Noddle Company's commercial real estate development spotlight of the week, in which we talk about happenings at one of the many, many Noddle Company's projects in the metro area. Now, Noddle Company's does stuff nationwide, but we really care about what they do around here. And, you know, they're famous for Exarban Village and the Builders District downtown and many, many other developments. Noddle Companies has constructed some of our coolest headquarters buildings. You know, Fortune 1000 company, Valmont, one of the top 10 architecture and engineering firms, HDR. They did all those headquarters. And very involved in the community. So Noddle Companies does a great job with every project they do, and are very supportive of the community. Well, this week, the Noddle Companies project, they were the master developer for River's Edge, which is on the Council Bluffs side of the Bob Carey, Missouri River Bridge. Interestingly, last week, our Noddle Companies spotlight involved River's Edge because we were talking about residential buildings under construction there and planned. Today, we have big news for you. Trenton construction has officially started on the Mid-American Energy Adventure Tower and Treetop Walk. We got a photograph that will run on growomaha.com this weekend. Bulldozers and tractors getting that ready. That's going to be a monument. That'll really stick up on the riverfront when you're looking at it from downtown Omaha.
Yeah, and you're going to be looking at it from Council Bluffs now. You're going to be looking at the Omaha skyline as well as Council Bluffs, and they're going to have like a synthetic caves in there where you can go in there and treasure hunt for the kids, and they're going to have a very unique ride, which is like a steel structure, kind of
like a zip line, but you're on a steel rail.
Yeah,
and it's really cool. But
and different towers, platforms.
Yeah, and it is underway, and if you're over there, you'll notice a bunch of tractors doing their work just north of the Bob Carey, Missouri River Bridge, and that is your Noddle Company's commercial real estate development spotlight of the week. Well, we are live on location here in Nebraska Crossing in beautiful Gretna. We are celebrating the grand opening of Lego, the first and only Lego store in Nebraska. They opened the doors today in 19 minutes, and there's a line of people counting those 19 minutes down because they want to be the first ones in here for day 2 of the Lego store. Rod Yates, we were talking with you before the news about the Good Life District and all of that, and you kind of gave us an overview about what it is and how big it's getting. Where are we in the Good Life District development progress? I mean, there's a lot that needs to happen before this stuff's coming out of the ground.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, we're very thankful, excuse me, that we have some very community-obsessed people behind this project. Governor Pillen, Senator Linehan, Mike Hilgers, Casey Billetts, the KC Economic Development Director. I mean, they're just community-obsessed, phenomenal people. That's the way you make a project like this happen, because it takes a ton of work. And so our perspective is that we're going to focus a lot on youth sports, professional sports, and Olympic sports. That's going to be our kind of 3 anchors that are going to hit all the goals that we set for it. And so our goal here is to have this all wrapped up and ready to go right at the beginning of the new year. so we can start finishing all our land acquisition, start working on our infrastructure, and start getting brands open in 2027. So we're about 2 years away before you start seeing the first brands that are opening here. A lot of new to market, like we talked about, but sports is going to be our leader here. We're going to drive a lot of sports unique to Nebraska that's going to make this the Disneyland of sports.
What do you think the first phase of the new stuff is coming?
Youth sports. It's
Okay.
going to be youth sports for sure. That can move really, really fast.
Indoor, outdoor fields?
Both. We're going to have both. I know one thing we have to do is build a 400,000 square foot volleyball facility. That's going to be a big part of the development. And then we've talked about Olympic volleyball. That's a 240,000 square foot facility. We have our follow-up meeting with the NHL coming up this fall, where we go there and announce how we're going to finance a $1 billion arena with them. So a lot of unique opportunity here. A lot of just new to market things that are going to make Nebraska a very big tourist industry here.
Without getting too far into the weeds on something that's probably quite complicated, how do you go about financing a multi-billion-dollar project like this?
Yeah, a lot of what we're doing here, there's some kind of unique things you can do to build. This is going to be a mega project, is what we kind of call it. And so we've got some unique people that are helping us finance it. Some of it will be some of our own equity. Some of it will be from a equity fund that's participating in the development that's going to put several billion into it. We'll do a little bit of traditional finance. And then I know we're financing the arena, the $1 billion arena, with green bonds. So we have a really sophisticated financing group that's doing all that for us. In total, we're up to $5 billion in costs, Jeff. And so it's no one traditional platform to do a project like this, but we figured that out about a year ago, how to do this, and it's all buttoned up and ready to go.
And so when you're attracting tens of thousands of people here every year, youth sports from all over, do you have dorms set up, housing, hotels, resorts? How do you do all that?
Yeah, so we'll have 20 different partners on the sports piece here. And they all have their different ideas of what we need from a hospitality standpoint. As I understand from our meetings out in San Diego on Wednesday this week, they need about 4,500 hotel rooms in this location to really meet the demand that they're going to bring into Nebraska. So we'll have a bunch of hotels. We'll have some hybrid kind of dorm room stuff when we do the academy, because we're going to attract kids from all over to come and spend extended periods of time to participate in the academy. But one of the things that's going to really set this apart, that really attracted a lot of these different partners in the sports field, that we're going to rebrand the overall development to Big Ten Crossing. So Johanna and I have been working with the Big Ten Conference, that what's attractive to all these youth sports is recruiting, because the kids who come and participate in our youth sports is they want to know that they have the potential to earn a Division I scholarship someday. So one of the smart things that we did a while back was we went and we met with the Big Ten executive team, and we started talking about the process to rebrand this whole 4,500 acre development.
And just to make sure, when you say rebrand, this will be called Big Ten Crossing and not Nebraska Crossing?
Correct.
Okay.
We will move on from Nebraska
Wow.
Crossing, and the whole 4,500 acres will be rebranded Big Ten Crossing.
Wow.
And there's some really, really smart people there at the Big Ten executive offices that we've had the fortunate opportunity to spend a lot of time with. And we're really thrilled to work on finishing that up and remaking how we brand the overall development.
When might that rebranding occur?
Next 30 days.
Holy cow, okay.
I'm going to repaint that water tower, Jeff.
Yeah, it's going to need a new logo.
You've got some unique street names I see. Can you talk about those?
Yeah, for sure. One of my fortunate trips that Johanna and I make 2 times a year is we go to the Nike World Headquarters out in Beaverton, Oregon. And if you've ever had a chance to see it, it's 400 acres. And basically what they did, they've got 12,000 employees working there. But what they did is they did a dedication to the Nike athletes, whether it's Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Mike Schmidt, et cetera, all the great Nike athletes. What we're going to do is we're working with Nike, and we're going to do a dedication to the Big Ten athlete and the Big Ten coaches. And so we're going to name streets. One of the examples, we're going to name one of the main thoroughfares, Drew Brees Way. We all know Drew, NFL Hall of Fame quarterback, soon to be Hall of Fame, but also Purdue quarterback All-American. So we're going to rename streets, buildings, trails, and different things. There's a creek that runs through our development called Buffalo Creek. we want to rebrand that Heisman Creek. We've got 18 Heisman Trophy winners in the Big Ten Conference that we want to do a dedication to those Heisman winners. So we're going to have roughly 30 to 40 miles of trails through the development that we'll be able to do a dedication to those Heisman winners.
All right, we're going to take our final break of the hour, and when we come back, we'll have our Perkins Kreitzer Construction lightning round, and we'll wrap up things with Rod and Johanna briefly celebrating the brand new Lego store first and only one in the state of Nebraska, grand opening weekend. You're listening to Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center along with Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid with you. Grow Omaha, we are live at Nebraska Crossing. It's the grand opening weekend for Lego, the first Lego store anywhere in the state of Nebraska. Opens here in just a few minutes for day number 2. It is time for our Perkins Kreitzer Construction lightning round. A lot of things on the list today, and we want to thank Perkins Kreitzer Construction for making this possible. And we have some Perkins Kreitzer Construction news because they are working with BobaFi, which opened just a couple days ago at 3838 North 168th Street. That's in a retail strip near the Walmart Superstore, northwest of 168th and West Maple Road. The franchise sells bubble tea. It is owned by Brain Tune Cafe, a franchise out of California, with also locations in Texas and New Jersey. But Perkins Kreitzer Construction built out that BobaFi. And last week we told you that they're building out the new Hawaiian Brothers restaurant in the former Boston Market in Miracle Hills. But guess what? They don't just do restaurants. You can hire them for your office building, your office build out, churches, you name it. They do it. Yeah, if it's a building, they'll build it. Perkins Kreitzer Construction. Dave Kreitzer leads the team. You can find them online at p-cconstruction.com. All right, couple quick things here. First Watch will open another Omaha location October 14th in Heartwood Preserve. Bad Seed Coffee and Supply has opened a second location at 50th and Dodge next to Felius Cat Cafe. The original shop opened in 2014 at 24th and Harney. Dave's Hot Chicken opening in the former Voodoo Taco, former Jones Brothers,
Sheridan's,
former some other stuff building at 180th and Center. Dave's Hot Chicken out of Los Angeles is a Nashville hot chicken concept. Current Omaha location, first Omaha location, is at 335 North Saddle Creek Road. We have Sweet Beans Coffee planning to open in late October near 192nd and Harrison Street. And Doggone Problems, a dog training and play care facility, is set to open September 20th at 134th and West Center Road.
I see what they did there.
And another piece of retail news is Champong Lanes and Ghost Donkey opening next week. These are downtown in the Mercantile District, the new Brickline building, and more concepts from Flagship Restaurant Group. And finally, Lego opened today.
Yes, you are correct, sir.
Saving the best for last.
Saving the best for last. Here
we are out here at Nebraska Crossing.
So, John Strakus, we talked to you briefly earlier in the show. You're the food and beverage guy here at Nebraska Crossing. What types of restaurants might we expect to join the lineup in the coming year or so?
Yeah, for sure. Well, for sure, we talked about Paradise Bakery, and with the youth sports, that goes kind of hand in hand. Obviously, you want healthy options for the parents and the kids. We're planning on opening up a Mediterranean-style restaurant that I'll be part of, that Rod and I will be part of, kind of like a traditional pita restaurant. We're excited about that. But I think we're most excited, you named a lot of brands that are coming to the area. Small Sliders, we just signed a franchise agreement with them, and we're going to bring them to the Big Ten Crossing and throughout Nebraska. We're super excited about them. Sliders, fries, shakes. I mean, it's a great, great concept. You mentioned Drew Brees earlier. He's a spokesperson. He's a franchise holder. It's exciting. It's really exciting.
And Small Sliders, they're kind of a Southern concept.
Yeah, they started down in New Orleans by a couple LSU football players, and now they've ramped it up. Now they brought in some really big time players, and they've just regrouped and they're growing like crazy, and we're super excited to be part of Nebraska with them.
Yeah, they'll have 300 units open, Jeff, by this time next year. Small sliders will.
Really?
They're
Okay.
on fire.
Where's the closest right now?
New Orleans, I guess. The ones that are open are more east towards Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then they're coming north.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
But as far as open, you'd have to go to New Orleans.
Yep.
Bring it on.
Yeah. Trenton, you lived in New Orleans back when you
It's
were
my
in
old
college.
stomping grounds, absolutely.
Tulane University.
Come on, yeah.
Okay, so the Paradise Bakery and Cafe will be on the northwest corner of the mall, and we already talked about that opening pretty soon. And that gives you guys a nice, sit down concept, but that is also a quick, it's also quick serve as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And, we can give people, they can come in and have coffee, stay there all day, do their work if they want. They can come in and have a quick bite. Obviously, we need to bring some sit-down restaurants in here to keep people here for a couple hours. Obviously, that's our goal, and we will work on that.
Yeah, I forgot. I need to give a shout out to Kong Dog. I don't know, I just want to say
I was wondering about that.
We actually opened them. If you haven't seen the Korean corn dog, I mean, you can see people walking around, meat on a stick.
Bumper play in 35 seconds.
Yep, and it's I understand it's pretty good because when I've been out here, you see people walking around with those things. Might have to give that a try before I leave.
Absolutely.
Music's playing, which means we are finito. Rod, Johanna, John, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we appreciate you having out here. Lego open now at Nebraska Crossing. That's it for this week. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Magid.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, Cheer Athletics, and Perkins Kreitzer Construction on News Radio 1110 KFAB. If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.